After the Silverado pickup truck, the Equinox is the second best-selling Chevy, so it's not much of a surprise that the brand would want to leverage the nameplate for the manufacturer's new compact all-electric crossover. Simply called the Chevrolet Equinox EV, the new electric pseudo-SUV enters one of the hottest market segments, offering an all-electric alternative to traditional compact SUVs. Although no specific price has been officially released, Chevrolet is determined to honor the early commitment of having the EV start at a price in the $30,000 range. Built on GM's Ultium electric vehicle platform, like the Blazer EV, the new Equinox EV doesn't bear much resemblance to its gasoline sibling. The EV is on a wider and longer wheelbase than the regular Equinox. Its wheelbase is roughly 9 inches longer, with the vehicle around 7 inches longer overall and 3 inches wider. The exterior design of the LT trim is similar to the gas-powered version, save for 2 distinctive changes. The front end is entirely different, with a thin light bar running the full width of the vehicle and additional horizontal stylings that, strangely enough, look very similar to the Ford Mustang Mach-E. For the RS versions, the bottom half of the front fascia is all black, with the recognizable red RS tag in the upper right corner. Chevy is also offering a two-tone roof on the LT models and an optional black roof for the RS trims. The lower price models, 1LT and 2LT, will set on 19-inch wheels. The 2RS will get 20-inch wheels, and the 3LT and 3RS will have 21-inch wheels. Like most EVs, the Equinox will come standard with one-pedal drive-in, which allows the vehicle to accelerate and slow down to a full stop using only the accelerator. When paired with regen braking, drivers can use one-pedal drive-in to put energy back into the battery, improving the range. Unlike some other electric vehicles, however, it does not have a storage area under the hood. Chevy reps said the Franks are both costly to implement and don't test very well in its focus groups. Complementing pleasing exterior styling, the interior of the Equinox EV looks properly nice too, with a nice mix of textures, plenty of physical controls for stuff like stereo volume and climate control, and a roomy-looking floating center console with tiered storage. Also, check out those ridiculously nice dashboard air vents. They look like something you'd find on a posh Mercedes. We also really like the clean, dark look of the interior screens. It should be a huge boon for night driving compared to light UX designs. Chevrolet touts the price of around $30,000 for the base model, which comes with a bunch of disclaimers. The MSRP could be slightly more than $30,000, and this estimate doesn't include any freight charges. For now, let's say the Equinox actually starts in the low to mid-30s. It's also worth noting that the base 1LT trim doesn't come with a ton of standard equipment. It offers 19-inch alloy wheels, an 11-inch infotainment screen, and an 11-inch digital gauge cluster for those wishing for a clean UX, and that's about it. Shoppers would need to opt for the 2LT trim to get heated seats and even the availability of adaptive cruise control. That attractive base price also doesn't include 300 miles of range, instead offering an estimated 250 miles of range from the base battery pack. That really isn't bad though, considering the Equinox EV's base price tag, and 250 miles should be plenty for the average American. Really, those are the only caveats to the new Equinox EV. Shoppers can still option the 300-mile long-range battery pack or all-wheel drive with 280 miles of range for the base model, and equipment seems quite generous as you go up through the trim levels. Options such as the 360-degree camera system, a 17.7-inch infotainment screen, and Super Cruise advanced driver assistance are sure to be extremely popular. Loaded 3LT and 3RS models even get cooled front seats and an available head-up display. Exactly the sort of feature set you'd need to compete with other loaded compact EV crossovers. With price out of the way, let's talk about power. An estimated 210 horsepower and 242 pound-feet of torque on the front-wheel drive models sounds quite good, while the all-wheel drive model cranks out an estimated 290 horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque. Those are some really competitive numbers that should make for a reasonably strong acceleration. Chevy did not provide key details about the battery capacity, so we will have to wait to learn about how much usable energy these things will have. The charge port is located on the driver's side fender. The Equinox EV will come standard with an 11.5 kilowatt charging module, which is estimated to add up to 34 miles of range per hour of charging. The 3RS model with all-wheel drive comes with a 19.2 kilowatt module, which can add up to 51 miles of range per hour of charging. All models will be capable of accepting fast charging speeds of up to 150 kilowatts, which enables approximately 70 miles of range to be added in 10 minutes. GM has said that most of its Ultium-powered vehicles will have 400-volt battery packs and up to 200 kilowatt fast charging capability, But in the interest of keeping the price low, it seems they have opted for a slightly smaller, less powerful architecture. In terms of charging, GM is in the process of building a coast-to-coast EV charging network in partnership with Pilot and Flying J truck stops and managed by EVgo. GM does not have its own charging stations akin to Tesla's supercharging network, but the company has its own vehicle apps and software called the Ultium Charge 360 network for use with a variety of third-party charging services such as Blink, ChargePoint, EVgo, Flow, Greenlots, and SEMA Connect. GM has said it plans to spend $30 billion by 2025 on the creation of 30 new plug-in models in its bid to overtake Elon Musk's company as the leading EV maker in the world. Tesla still dominates the relatively small EV market in the US with around 66% market share, while GM only has around 6%. This year, the company was even outsold by legacy auto rivals like Ford and Hyundai, according to CNBC. The new Chevy Equinox EV will be built at GM's factory in Mexico. That means it satisfies one of the new requirements to be eligible for the $7,500 tax credit. Whether it will meet the other sourcing requirements concerning its battery materials remains to be seen. Starting January 1, 2023, some GM vehicles will be eligible again for the tax credit for the first time since 2019, after the company sold its 200,000th EV, triggering a phase-out of the incentive. In a future bid to catch up to Tesla and become more vertically integrated, GM is trying to get a stronger grasp on its supply chain, which includes battery manufacturing. The company has said it will spend over $4 billion on the construction of 2 battery factories in North America in partnership with LG Chem. GM also said that it will explore localizing cathode production facility with LG Chem by the end of 2025. It also recently locked down 950,000 tons of cathode material in a deal with the South Korean battery maker. Also, GM has resisted the urge to raise prices on its lowest-priced EVs, the Chevy Bolt and Bolt EUV, even while other EVs have gone up in price. In fact, the company has decided to keep its discounted price for the Bolts through the end of the year, all of which should spell good news for the Equinox EV's affordability when it begins to roll off the assembly line in late 2023.